8 months. He laughed. Not the kind that fills a room. The kind that cuts it. Pure nonsense, he said, waving my report like a piece of scrap paper. This will implode in a week. The boardroom went still. His voice bounced off the glass walls, sharp and deliberate. My colleagues looked down, scribbling at invisible notes. Not one of them met my eyes. I didn't move, didn't speak. Just watched him, Calvin Moore, director of operations, company legend, self-appointed god. He loved moments like this. Humiliation disguised as leadership. And that day, I was his entertainment. I remember the taste in my mouth. Cold metal. I'm done then, I said, stacking my papers. He smirked. I'm sure I'll hear from you in 8 months. The room laughed with him. Of course they did. No one wanted to be next. When I first joined, Calvin called me prodigy. You're the future, he'd say. He took me to meetings, name-dropped me in memos, told everyone I'd lead projects one day. And I believed him. So I worked. Nights, weekends, holidays. Built systems that saved the company millions. Then one morning, I walked into his presentation, and saw my work on the screen. My models, my data, my name gone. Brilliant work, Calvin, the CEO said. And Calvin smiled, glanced at me, and said, couldn't have done it without my team. That's when I understood. He didn't want a team. He wanted trophies. And I was next in line to be mounted. So I stayed quiet. Didn't quit. Didn't confront. I started collecting. Every lie, every shortcut, every forged report. Patterns, payments, fake consultant invoices. All of it. He thought I was fading. I was building. 8 months. That's how long it took. While he mocked my project, I rebuilt it leaner, faster, with a rival firm across town. The same company he'd ridiculed for years. We signed NDAs, worked in silence, sharpened the blade. And then we launched. Overnight, the market shifted. Contracts vanished from his firm and landed on ours. Headlines called it the most disruptive logistics innovation in a decade. He'd called it nonsense. A week later, I sent him an email. Subject: thought you'd like an update. Attachment: press release, Project Phoenix. 5 minutes later, he replied, what is this? I almost smiled. You told me my idea would implode. I wrote back. It didn't. 2 weeks later, I saw him at the Global Operations Summit. Same tailored suit, same forced grin, but smaller now, like the room had outgrown him. I heard you're consulting for Everac, he said. I am, I told him. They believed in the idea you called worthless. He laughed brittle. You could have stayed. We could have built it together. You mean I could have built it for you? He flinched barely. But I saw it. You were right about one thing, I said quietly. It did implode. He blinked, just not the way you thought. Behind us, the main screen lit up. Profit charts, client lists, market shifts. Our rise, his collapse. The crowd applauded. Cameras flashed. Calvin clapped too, his reflection trembling on the glass. Swallowed by the numbers. The fallout came fast. Investigations. Audits. His forged reports. The ones I'd archived. Surfaced. A month later, he was gone. 3 months after that, the CEO offered me his job. I declined. I already had something better. Something mine. People think revenge is loud. It isn't. It's quiet. Precise. A scalpel, not a hammer. The satisfaction doesn't come from a fall. It comes from the silence right before, when they realize the truth is already standing where they used to be. He once said my project would implode. He just didn't realize he'd be standing on it when it did. Last month, he called me, voice shaking, asking for a referral. I almost answered. Almost. Instead, I watched the skyline from my office window and smiled. 8 months. That's all it took to turn humiliation into empire. Sometimes silence isn't surrender. It's preparation.